You were the one with the potato mic, right? My mic sounds good, right?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out later on tonight, but here we are, everybody. Game 2. Champ Select is ready to rock and roll. Bands coming out a lot slower than last time. The teams have swapped sides as well.
There's the Syndra band off the start from Team Instinct, so staying consistent with that one. And I think so. Victor new band, Sejuani new band. The other 4 were consistent from last game. The other game also had an Aurelia. I forget what the last band. And the Gnar is going to be first picked again. Fearfiend lost on it last time, so I don't know how I feel about this coming out from the other side.
This is the type of pressure that Gnar actually puts on. Gnar is probably the #1 top laner in the league right now, so it is pick ban. And if your enemy lost on it, then I guess you're in the thought process of, well, I can do it even better than he can, so I don't have to worry about it. But they're gonna give it up. Never mind.
Okay. So that happened.
I'ma scoop you of the Anime Kum Back squad seems to have DC'd and come back. I don't know if... Yeah, it looks like it was a client crash. So we should get right back into it. Same bands, no questions asked. So we should be getting right back into it.
Here we go. Ooh, ha, yeah, yahoo! So I'm assuming you say bands.
Yeah, I would assume same bands. I don't... It's just a client crash. We don't remake for those. Yeah. So now that we know that the Ezreal was the first pick... I mean, the Ezreal just did so much work last game. I kind of expect it to continue doing work in this game.
The problem is they put no pressure, but they got that 3-0 Gragas, and then he stayed hovering towards top and bot. Like, he put no pressure on that Ezreal whatsoever, and they're gonna first pick it again. But the way you beat an Ezreal is you pressure it. Kill him, you make him pay for the fact that he has a bad early game. And there's Gnar and Alistar coming out, so picking the Alistar away.
Yeah, Color C, I remember back when I was casting him last season, Color C was very, very good on the Alistar. I was kind of surprised thinking back now that they actually allowed it through the first game. Now that it's the second game around, they realize how good a pick it is. They're going to take it away. Who was it? It wasn't Scoops this time. It was Exy, it looks like.
Two?
Exy?
No, there were 2 of them.
Yeah, I think Exy canceled the champ select and then Scoop quit out after. I believe they're going to be re-logging because they get the bug where you can't see anything in champ select. Thanks, Rito, but I'll take this over a pause any day.
Knees weak, mom spaghetti code. Something meme. Am I doing it right?
I mean, you are the only person I know that can get more than 12 Reddit points, so there's that.
Yeah, I was looking at that today. I have over 12,000 in my Reddit karma from the league comments.
And it's usually just low effort memes. I don't know what you're doing.
12,362 of my comment karma is in League of Legends.
Yeah, most of my karma is from League as well, but I try expanding and then it ends up not working out for me. So I actually just lost like 40 points asking why people need SD cards in their cell phones, but that's just me.
Dominated.
Anyway, let's see if we can make it through half a champ select this time. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm not saying anything about the bands again because they've heard it 3 times already. Let's see when we get down into the next pick. Alistar should be next. Just lock it in, please.
Yeah, we know what these first couple picks are. They should be pretty much insta-locked. I believe, did we see the second rotation from Instinct last time? I don't believe we did.
No, I think there are some hovers, but that's when it dropped out. It was pretty quickly.
So I'm curious. Let's see. They had Ezreal, Alistar, Sejuani, Gangplank, Lux. What did they really like from the last game, other than the Sejuani Alistar? Because the Lux did okay. The Lux wasn't a bad pickup for him.
But it was also their last pick. It was something they thought would enable the rest of their composition. And it made sense with the Gangplank and the Ezreal. So if you're going to go away from that, we see Gragas being taken away, which is picked on the other side, and Taric actually being picked up. So seeing Alistar being taken away, opting in for a melee support that is going to be able to help keep people alive from Alistar dives. I really like that pickup into Alistar, honestly. I think Taric is able to beat up a little bit on him, and that's going to make it really hard for Anime Kum Back to decide who they want to take as their AD carry.
Yeah, I think Taric's a fantastic pick. He pretty much single-handedly can drop out enemy melee supports. He just wins trades. The only pick I probably would have preferred personally would have been Trundle. You already see a very tanky frontline from Anime Kum Back with the Gnar Alistar. So you know that Ezreal's not exactly a tank killer unless he gets ahead, so having that Trundle allows him to cut down a lot of the resistances of the enemy tanks and allows you to cut through them that much faster. But like I said, Taric's a fantastic pick, especially going into a immobile AD carry like Varus.
Yeah, well, let's see if Varus ends up actually going AD. They have last pick. They could flex him into the mid lane. However, that would leave them extremely physically oriented against the Taric Gragas. So I don't think they're going to want to end up doing that. It's probably going to be the Varus Taric lane, or Varus Alistar lane against Taric Ezreal, which is, you know, I mean, I give that to Taric Ezreal.
Yeah,
Scooby 9 times out of 10.
Scooby did play Varus last week. Yeah, Scooby played Varus last week very effectively. He ended up almost single-handedly winning game 2 for them last week. But he was against actually a dive comp, so he somehow managed to survive a dive comp, and now here he is once again facing another dive comp. So I'm excited to see if he can do it again. The Shen Cassiopeia is probably going to give him a headache though, so I don't know if he's really feeling confident anymore. That's probably a pick I would have waited to the last one for. Like, pick your mid laner blind, and then if you really still want to pick the Varus after the Shen Cassiopeia, then go for it. But that's just me.
Bard? Question mark?
The young AP Bard mid lane.
No. Vel'Koz? I like Vel'Koz here. Vel'Koz is champion I hold near and dear to me. If Cassiopeia is able to get onto him, he's just gonna die. You have to play it very, very, very cautiously when Cassiopeia decides to come in, and Gragas is going to have the ability to really engage from wherever he. I give this a team instinct. Again, unless Anime Kum Back is able to get ahead and really assert dominance with the Vel'Koz Varus, I think they're just gonna lose.
This is actually very similar to the comp they ran last week, like I was talking about, that they played game 2, they had the Vel'Koz Varus, they were actually able to win, and I believe it was also a Cassiopeia on the enemy squad. that being said, the Anime Kum Back's very immobile, very two-threat oriented. So if at any point Scoop and Scooby fall too far behind, there's no damage really backing them up. There's no one past 20 minutes that's really going to be able to take the mantle away from them and carry the game themselves, unless Nar goes like 5-0 in like the first 10 minutes.
And Nar can beat up on Shen. That is a bad matchup for Shen. Shen does not win that matchup by a long shot. Rek'Sai is able to provide reliable ganks to either side of the map, especially after she has her ultimate up. She's going to be able to get onto the Shen and get onto the Cassiopeia. I don't foresee her spending a lot of time in the bot lane. However, comboing with Alistar and Varus post 6 is, again, a pretty easy choice. Taric might make it difficult if he's able to get his ultimate off. Overall, I think Instinct wins this draft, again, unless Anime is able to get an early lead.
Yeah, I mean, both comps are very well picked. I mean, you have the Ezreal that you already ran last game. You know he can go aggressive with it. And now you have the bonus Shen ultimate on top of it to protect him that much more. Cassiopeia can just do massive amounts of damage and can really shut out a few members of the red team just by threatening the ult, because it kind of blocks this, the Valkaz ultimate, the disintegration rate, along with a close range charged arrow from Varus. So well drafted there. And then red team definitely knows what they want to do. They want to have their 3 tanks go in, knock up as many people as possible, and set it up for the disintegration ray and the arrows from Varus. So both teams know exactly the one thing they need to do, and now it just kind of breaks down to, does Taric win the team fight?
Yeah, but we've also seen how absolutely disgusting Tellier's Ezreal can be if they don't pressure him and he's able to pick up a couple kills. And you see Banton come down there right around after the 6. He spent most of his time on the map pre-6, which is fine, goes down to the duo. He's able to get that rolling again. I think that will be GG. I mean, I want to see an answer for the Ezreal before I will pick against it again, because he had the ball last game, ball was in his court, absolutely ran all over them. Like, was consistently ahead, start to finish, out CSing the Tristana despite being pushed in, just sustaining up with the Alistar. Then when he got the ganks, he was able to just roll the lane over.
Yeah, very fair point. And with the last 15 seconds, I'm personally going to give the draft over to Team Instinct. You seem to be along the same train of thought.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, with that, guys, we will be right back as soon as the game loads in. And I hope you guys are excited to see Game 2 and see if Comeback can make the comeback, or if Team Instinct has the right of way and will continue winning these games. So we will be right back, guys. Get excited. Welcome back, everybody. Into game number 2. Loaded onto the Rift, we see the teams making their way out to their opening jungle positions. And again, we don't really see level 1 comps.
Is this some level 1 tomfoolery coming on, though?
That's what I want to see.
On the bot.
Nah, it's looking like they're going to spread out. I do want to see at least one level 1 shenanigan in this best of 5. So come on, teams, bring it out.
There's a lot of risk associated with it. I think you specifically have to build a comp knowing you're going to go for it and know where the enemy team is going to be. However, both teams have taken the exact same path, so if they decided to execute on it, I don't think it would be too hard to pull off. I know exactly where I would invade. I don't want to give it away in case any of them have the stream up, but there's definitely 1 or 2 spots in this line and how they walk out that are vulnerable.
Yeah, Sundown is pretty much known as the Invade King of VVV Gaming. He pretty much hits you level 1 every time, no matter what, and there was nothing you could do about it.
Like, I'd find you and kill you in your jungle just because.
And then he'd go back to being useless for the rest of the game, so that was cool.
Means a lot. We see, so opposite of what Wolfie had done the last time, he starts on the bot side with this duo, opting into that Gromp and then skipping blue entirely and going to Wolves. Obviously blue is just absolutely useless on Rex side. Not a whole lot you're going to do with it, so opting for the safer clear to get himself up.
Yeah, and that actually saves the blue buff that he can give over to Scoop later on. And if he can get Scoop an early blue, that could actually be huge and allow him to push this Cassiopeia in and not have to worry about really too much pressure from the Cassiopeia herself.
Yeah, but Vel'Koz again able to shove in. He has 9 out of the first 12 CS, so only missing 3. And you see Nar getting busy with the bullying in the top lane. However, Shen with the Doran Shield and his own passive stun coming out.
Good 2-man stun.
Will they be able to actually win the trade though? Because Tellier's taking damage from those range creeps, so Scooby's just backing up, but that Mystic Shot's going to even it out a lot.
Yeah, that Mystic Shot pretty much saved that trade. We'll see if Tellier can dodge the arrow. Not this time. He does have a Taric though, who's going to have those Targon procs, who's going to have that heal. Flash body slam on a Scooby. He's going to force the flash out of him. Stun's not going to land. Exy taking tons and tons of damage though.
Not gonna flash, no summoner spells. He's gonna regen that up fine. He's got biscuits, he'll be able to use his E to keep himself and Scooby sustained. That was kind of a weird
Wolfie
flash.
coming in, knock up onto Hitmonchan twice. One more hit's gonna proc the damage. There it is, extra slow, forces the ghost. Can Wolfie get in time to knock up again? The Nar's coming down. Good miasma there. Boomerang into... Oh, the geometry's not going to land, but the boomerang will. First blood going over to Fear Fiend.
I don't understand why he ran up river and flashed. Like, he could have flashed towards his wraiths, popped ghost, and then just ran out that way. Like, that was a horrible misplay by Hitmonchan, blowing both of his summoners. He's gonna lose Banson and Blue Buff. First blood going over to Gnar in an already favorable lane.
Blue Buff actually went to Banson with the barrel pop.
Well, then I stand corrected. So Banson rescuing that a little bit, but still, like, Cassiopeia putting herself and her teammates unnecessarily behind. Shen gonna do his best to try and trade out with Gnar right here while he has the creep wave going. He's gonna get him down to half HP. His Gnar bar is up though, and the wave is pushing in. So Gnar's gonna have a sizable gold lead actually in a little bit once that wave crashes in.
I mean, he actually currently has the gold lead. Color C gonna get knocked in, but not really too much damage. He'll heal that up just fine. Gnar with that first blood was able to pick up the gold lead, so even though he's down 15 CS, he's not too worried about it.
Yeah, but it's all in potions. It's 130 at this point. I think the Shen makes better use of his Doran Shield as well than Gnar does of his Doran's Blade. So that matchup's mostly equalized. It's really going to only tilt if Gnar is able to actually pick up all the CS in the tower, and we see him missing one right there, able to pick up the others.
Yeah, Shen was actually able to collapse that gap a little bit. He was down like 200-300 gold at one point, but he's already closed it back down to a little less than 200. Scoop now gonna be able to finally get a blue buff. Maybe. 17 HP.
Yeah, it's a rough life. Vel'Koz doesn't have a whole lot of DPS early on.
That's
But
the struggle of a
pick
mid
it up.
laner when you don't quite kill it, and so then you have to go back.
You gotta walk, or you've already walked back, and you're like, okay, it's alright. I'm gonna be able to make it and hit that creep. I'll have exact. Oh, let me turn around. And so, taking a look at the farm across the board, Ezreal up 5, Tellier already working into his
Trinity
tier,
Force.
and nothing for the. Probably going to go into Sheen right away with the Sapphire Crystal. We'll see if he goes with an Iceborne Gauntlet this game to kind of kite around with the quad AD. Less AP coming out, I think that would make that armor a lot more effective. But he still has a ton of peel, so we'll see if he opts into the Trinity Force again like last time, just for that hard carry.
I would assume so. He's really the only AD threat on his team, so there's not a whole lot of reason not to. As you mentioned, he has plenty of peel, so he shouldn't have to worry about needing that Iceborne Gauntlet slow. Eggsy gonna get stunned up, only level 4. Knock up on the color C, but damage coming down.
See Wolfie actually taking a trip into Banson's jungle. Banson doesn't feel too good about that. Hitmonchan
Ghost?
popping Ghost. There's the slow. He's gonna go down. Miasma gonna keep murdering.
Oh.
Miss everything. Shen'el coming down to save from I'ma scoop you. Not going to be able to have that as a global now. Gonna have to rely on his teleport. Flash as well to get away from the Q. And
The Q actually landed too. That's the unfortunate part.
Let's talk about really bad misplays. Hitmonchan, what do you got going on? That was very interesting. If he had just ulted off the start, before the Rek'Sai was able to burrow, right when he had popped the Ghost, if he had put the Miasma down and then ulted, they had the damage to kill him. Like, it was all there. He is not executing, and it is costing his team right now.
Yeah, and forcing the Shen ulti out really early. That's one less tool available for a bot lane fight. Not that I think Tellier is really concerned about it right now. He seems to be content just growing this farm lead. Fear Fiend losing out the trade for now. I think that last Frenzy proc actually put him in the lead a little bit. Big minion wave here available for the Shen though, already ahead. However, Fear Fiend kind of wants this dive.
Not able to get that hyper proc, and it's very, very dangerous to dive a Shen. If he taunts you, you are just not in a good position. Great piercing arrow coming out of Varus right there.
Eggsy gonna trade CC on the color C.
Clear of alliteration there, well done. Going for the
Oh,
hyper proc.
great hop there. Get out of the taunt. Even with the taunt,
They know that Banson is there, but
they're gonna...
Wolfie
They
is
have
down
help.
as well. Ezreal arcing shift forward.
Color C is gonna get knocked up. We do see the ultimate from the Color C coming out. Gonna keep him alive for now. Fear Fiend's gonna TP in as well. Oh man, so much burned in this bottom from the top laner in this bottom fight. Can they do anything?
Actually, TP directly top. He will not have his ultimate, so if Wolfie decides to go for the dragon, there's going to be no answer from the top laner. At that point, I think that's the answer. You let the teleport complete. You're not going to pick up a kill. Get the harass you can on the jungler. Start that Ocean Drake. Make them come and fight you.
The problem with that is Eggsy and Fear Fiend both below half health, and the ultimate's available for Banson. The steal potential's real right now. Hitmonchan not having a fun time with this Vel'Koz. Color C making his friends known. Ultimate coming in. Smite is enough. Color C way behind enemy lines. Fantastic Gnar accidentally throws him too far away, but the hail of arrows will be enough to pick up the kill.
And that's the kill. Plus the Ocean Drake making the poke comp even stronger. That's not something you really want to give over. That was overall a very weird decision making. Vel'Koz being able to zone the Cassiopeia out from coming over. It means it basically guaranteed the dragon. Now, at that point, if you're just going to give it up, and if you're going to use the Ezreal to try and steal, use Ezreal and Dragon Spell from the back, and don't even walk in and contest. If you're going to go all in, you need to bring everyone with you and go all in.
Yeah, and as you can see in the top lane, Shen is just not the best tower taker. He had that whole time by himself on this tower and really only got up to half health. So unfortunate there, but he was able to get a pretty decent gold lead on top of Gnar. Or CS lead.
Yeah, and that's just going to mean he is not going to be able to get pushed out of the lane. So as soon as he has that Sunfire cape, he's only down about 150 gold to Gnar overall. And it's going to be incredibly difficult for Gnar to just outright kill him. Yes, he picked up that first blood, but it was at the cost of a CS lead. And then finally, when he was able to grind it back, he teleported back bot, helped the team secure Ocean Drake and a kill. But he spent so much time away that Shen's now up 18 CS in the lane.
And you can see Gnar once again going for that Frozen Mallet first item. Definitely gonna be the nail in Shen's coffin, because Shen will not be able to get away from that unless he burns a dash, and even then you have Hop to catch back up. That looked like a two-man stun. It was from the Color C. Great play there, taking tons of damage back from Scooby-Dooby though.
Scooby-Dooby has ult. I would have really loved him to see when he had the 3-puck on him from the ult and then follow up with another rotation of his ult. But you need the Pulverize to be up and to burst him when the Pulverize is down, just so Color C isn't able to get his ult out, which is going to be a difficult time to pull off. You see Vel'Koz just creating so much room in this Cassiopeia. I think if he hit that E, he would have gone all in.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of damage. He does have to be careful of the ultimate from Cassiopeia though. The Petrifying Gaze.
Collapsing onto
Stun
Banson.
onto Banson. He doesn't get the body slam over the wall. And now Shen's just leaving him for dead. Never mind. Ultimate coming out. However, is it going to be enough? Knockup only onto Crippled Old Man. Now Crippled Old Man's going to dash on the tower. Ultimate onto Color C. Can they burst him out in time? It's not going to be enough. Goes invulnerable. Could a Piercing Arrow finish it? It is going to pick that kill up. 1 kill going over to Scooby-Dooby, even with the Taric ultimate.
Yeah, and really well timed there. They didn't put any damage on while the invulnerability was going out. They put some in before, said let him get low. I have enough damage to finish him with the Q. Was able to secure it, and that's going to help equalize it a little bit. It's 2-0 in the lane, but again, Ezreal's sitting up on 12 CS. He's going to be scaling upwards. He's sitting on that tier. Earth didn't opt in for a tier. Or, well, he did opt in for a tier, but he got it, I don't want to say much later, but he's down 100.
Yeah, he's down about 100 stacks
right now. Yeah.
Keep in mind, Varus does not have the low cooldowns that Ezreal does to stack that, so it's not exactly a one-on-one. They could have got it at the same time, and he would still be behind.
Yeah, but that's just going to mean the Ezreal's going to get to a point where he's going to be able to affect the map a lot better than Varus. It's going to be a power spike there, and he's definitely already ahead of that. You see his on better bypass. And really unfortunate that Arcane Barrage left all 4 of those creeps so low health. Taric should put down some damage before those coming through, so to at least be able to get that siege creep. That was about 150 gold, just went to waste.
Taric was able to get one of the ranged creeps, so not complete waste. Obviously, you want it going over the Ezreal, but Taric has to get tanky too, you know.
And he's going to go for the stun Scooby-Doo, pick it up, but
they have friends. Wolfie's going to get the secondary knockup. Color C is super low, but we have the TP from Old Man coming in. The taunt's not going to land. Good Piercing Arrow onto Color C once again. Can they go for more? Ultimate onto Crippled Old Man. Can they do anything out of it? They're not going to have follow-up.
Nope, all the worms detach everyone spread off at the Shen. As soon as the Varus ultimate had attached to him, not giving the Chain of Corruption a chance to actually chain, and with minimal amount of follow-up, oh, good Piercing Arrow, almost taking out the Color C again. I would have been interested to see if Varus has the Assassin Mastery as well to do that extra damage, or if he went for the mana regen to spam out, because that could have potentially been a kill.
And just so much damage from Gnar onto this tower. He has a wave coming in. I'm curious to see if he can actually take it. Body Slam's not going to land on the Scooby-Dooby, but they're going to take some time to back. And he's not going to be able to take it just yet. Shen is showing up just now. Vel'Koz doing so much pressure in this mid lane, up almost 3 waves of CS, and that's something you gotta be scared of. There's a lot of damage that can come from Vel'Koz.
Yep, it's about a 500 gold deficit right now, a little bit more. And if Vel'Koz is continuing able to dictate what the Cassiopeia is doing, and he is not pressured, it's gonna become incredibly hard for the Cassiopeia to get ahead. She had opportunities to make plays and pick up kills. Here's another one.
Scoop's gonna get forced to flash. Vanson could actually solo this. However, Wolfie shows up to join the party. He should force him away. Not gonna land from Hitmonchan. That's Scoop's time. Vel'Koz did cancel it early. He was worried about the body slam. Hitmonchan's gonna Twin Fang to death. One. Can he get the other one? That's two. Now Nars joined the party though. Has not quite the completed item. I don't think he has the damage though. To 3-on-1. That taunt's gonna spell death for Fear Fiend, and that's a triple kill to Cassiopeia. What just happened?
That was. Oh, God, he could have killed that Vel'Koz much earlier. I was expecting him to flash ult the two of them, or flash ult the Vel'Koz, and just immediately turn in. But luckily, Vanson and the Shen able to come in. The long con baiting him out. Just to clean everything up. That is 3 kills to the Cassiopeia, as well as first turret gold. That is massive. That 500 gold deficit in the mid lane just turned into a 1k gold advantage for the Cassiopeia, just like that.
And you can't just do that, man. That's not okay. That does make Scoop's life a lot harder in that mid lane. Cassiopeia's backing with over 2 grand, so she's gonna be able to finish up the Marilla Nomcon and pick up a needlessly large rod. That's a lot of damage.
So I think it's only a big deal if Hitmonchan comes back into a lane and immediately kills Scoop again. As soon as your ult is off cooldown, you need to be flash ulting in his face. He has no ult, he has no heal, he has, well, he will have his ult up, but he has no flash, he has no heal, he's immobile Vel'Koz. If you see him throw his E, or you force his E out, or even if he's just facing towards you, flash ult onto his face, blow your entire combo, he's gonna die, he has no defensive stats, you have a huge power spike. He can end the game right here if he's able to roll over this Vel'Koz.
Color C is going to get caught out once again, going a bit too far for that ward. He's going to go down eventually. He's so much faster than everybody, though. He's already finished boots, too. Piercing arrow in the back, though, will finish that up. Hitmonchan joining his ED carry in the bot lane. They want to do something about this dragon, but with the support down, that's a big ultimate that Anime Kum Back doesn't have to worry about for this dragon fight, should they go for it.
Very true. The Terrible is a absolutely scary ability. The amount of invulnerability he brings to the table, and when he's able to time it out with cooldowns. That Infernal Dragon could also be a big tipping point for this match. A little bit of damage on the Varus, a little bit of damage on the Cassiopeia could tip some of these fights either way very quickly.
And this is the Frozen Mallet Gnar. He was able to get 2.5 Frenzy procs off there. And that's just in the very short distance between that wall and the tower. Imagine what he could do with a whole lane.
Yeah, but again, the big thing is with Gnar, you're supposed to be harassing and CSing. He's giving up 35 CS in the lane, so while he's able to play like this, he's not turning it into an economic advantage.
Does he? He had his ultimate available. I probably would have went for it just to have the option to force Crippled Old Man out of fight range so that they wouldn't be able to go for this fight. Smite's going to come in from Wolfie. What are they going to do about it? Xe gets stuck on the Miasma, so he can't flash out. However, there's so much damage! Banson's almost going to go down, but the flash will keep him alive for now. The ultimate from Tarek's going to give some last-second invulnerability, but they're also low. So overall, no deaths for anybody. Scooby-Dooby's kind of stuck. Hitmonchan putting lots of damage. Great 2-man knockup from Xe, though. Flash ultimate from Cassiopeia gets a 2-man stun and a 2-man slow. Gets counter-flashed on. However, not enough damage coming in from the Anime Kum Back squad. And that's 2 kills going to Team Instinct. And it's 3 kills shut down on 2 Scooby-Dooby.
That was a 4-man flash Cassiopeia, and that's what we had just been talking about. If Cassiopeia was able to use the flash, the fact that she's one of the few people on the map with her summoner still up, able to get in an advantageous position directly on top of the Vel'Koz, knowing his damage was done, and that's 3 kills over to the side, 2 in the favor of Ezreal, 1 more over to her, and that's where you want the goal.
Yeah, 4-1-2 now on this Cassiopeia. 1.5 items with another 1,300 in the bank. is probably going back to finish up that Archangel Staff right now. So in a really good position there. And with the Miasma, she's definitely able to cut out the mobility options that Anime Kum Back does have. The hop
and there's a
from Nar.
Rylas. She just hot fast pop Rylas.
Well, she had the needlessly large rod, went back, bought the Giant's Boat, and then I think waited a second to finish it.
Yep.
So, but even still, that's a huge power spike. And that's the one cool thing about Cassiopeia. She doesn't have to worry about boots, so she can just buy damage.
Yep, you're a snake. Why do you need boots? And look at the Shen, just absolutely walloping on the Gnar. He shifts back down, but Rek'Sai's up in the area. Will they be able to convert from this 1v2?
Does Wolfie have flash? He does not. Body slam onto X. He's gonna keep him trapped for a little bit. Forces the ultimate out. Ultimate from Scooby-Doo is gonna miss! And the stun's gonna keep him in place long enough for the hammer to come down from Tarek. And the headbutt pull just isn't enough.
They need to convert on the Shen and get something on the top side of the map. Otherwise, this is an absolute waste. There's the last creep. Taunt goes down onto Wolfie. Will they be able to finish it?
They get the tower.
Gnar down. Wallop hits. Will he ult Gnar into the wall? Shen still trying to tank it out. It's in the creep wave. Do they have enough damage? Yep, there goes down. Fear Fiend has slain a crippled old man. Wow, that is.
How kind of him.
Yep. Putting him out of his misery there as he tries to valiantly hold the turret. Don't worry, Shen, you will be remembered. And to be honest, like, not a big deal. Still, even with Gnar only giving up 60 gold to him, going back, you know, the old school way with 1,200 spends. Now, personally, I'd really like to see a Blade of the Rune King out of the Shen here. I think you buy. I think you buy Borg and you sit in that lane. And you say, yeah, you're gonna stack health.
I'm a Scoop just walks right into the Dazzle barrel combo, and with the fail flash over the wall, had the flash even worked, I think he would have been done for. I don't think that would have helped him survive at all.
Yeah, bad flash. Don't do that. You're a noob.
Fear Fiend's just gonna walk straight into the petrifying gaze. He is gonna survive because Wolfie draws the ire of Team Instinct. But now they're going to be able to put pressure onto this tower. There's not enough wave clear really on this comeback squad.
Yeah, so the reason I call him a noob there for flashing is because even if you go over, they were already split on the sides. You're just flashing to delay your death longer. And as Vel'Koz, like, as a Vel'Koz player, that irks me a lot. Your flash is your bread and butter for getting out of sticky situations. Especially, you don't want the team to have to feel for you when you have a Varus. So you need that flash up, and that was an absolute waste. I apologize. I know I had been hard on Hitmonchan, but that was a very bad play by Scoop. That is going to cost his team, in my opinion. We're seeing Instinct again, just picking it up post 20 minutes and starting to roll. They had a little bit of a tough early game, but as soon as it transitions to the mid game, they just move around the map better.
So this is kind of once again Comeback focusing really hard on this mid lane. They're trading a tier 1 for a tier 2, possibly a tier 3. That's a huge minion wave.
And they're going to start recalling, so they're going to keep Varus, Vel'Koz pushing, but I think it might be too late. Like, the team that starts recalling first usually is going to lose the base race. Like, they're splitting their focus. They're not going to be able to execute from this. This could be an inhib down, and they're going to get a one-man taunt on the Rex side. Will they follow up?
They're trying to trade inhib towers, and there's just no minions available for Comeback. So they're going to pop the Alistar ulti, but in this top lane, Fear Fiend's just going to get locked down. That's a top inhib down, and I don't think they're going to have the time to get the inhib.
Might go for game.
This could be game, folks. They're trying. There's only one person in base for Anime Kum Back. They're just now starting the recalls, but this minion wave is huge. And Old Man's so tanky.
They're probably not recalling. They're going to lose that turret. There is the Tarek ult. They're chilling. They're still invulnerable for 2.5 seconds. That was horrible play calling from Anime Kum Back. You're just going to lose this game now. Thought you were going to get something from it, but as soon as you split, oh my god, Vanson knocked into the turret, not going to get anybody with the ult. Will they have enough damage to close it out? Horror is at 301k.
I think that's game. Shut down.
One more hit.
Oh,
one more auto attack. Who has
there it is.
Over Team Instinct. Wow. Anime Kum Back, man. You gotta keep your stuff together. They've been consistently getting like a 1 lead, and then it just falls apart in it almost catastrophe. Like it is, they don't crash and burn. They crash and burn and have fireworks on board, and it is a marvelous spectacle. They start losing fast, and it goes on tilt very heavily. Team Instinct keeping their composure, again settling in, letting Tellier get on that Ezreal, get ahead. Triple kill on Hitmonchan definitely spelled the end there. I think as soon as that was over, there was no way that Anime Kum Back was going to be able to put pressure down, and the immediate 4-man Cassiopeia afterward just kind of sealed the deal.
So now I'm kind of curious. Do they ban the Ezreal? Do they just straight up ban it? They don't seem to really have an answer. And 2 games in a row now, he's put in work. He didn't do as much. He was only 3-0-4 this game. But it's definitely kind of a thorn in Anime Kum Back's side because they can't seem to catch him.
Can you do me a favor and also click on damage taken for the stream? I want to see something real quick.
So do you think they just straight up ban it? I'm wondering if it's worth it.
And this is what I said. You have to ban it at this point. Like, I wanted to see if you had an answer for it. They didn't really put enough pressure down onto the Ezreal. Again, in my opinion, there's consistently we thought they had the losing lane when it was Ezreal Alistar. They pick away the Alistar. I'm surprised they didn't pick away the Ezreal. To be honest, like Ezreal just
Yeah, and you notice that even when they took away the Ezreal, they still had an answer in the Taric. I mean,
took away the Alistar. Yes.
Yeah, like even once Kum Back took that, they, instant knew what they wanted.
Like Alistar Varus doesn't really threaten Ezreal Taric. Like, you're not gonna get a 2-man chain because Ezreal's just gonna shift out, or Taric's gonna invuln them. Like, they were able to pick up a couple of kills here or there, and Varus definitely was the knight in shining armor for his team. Ahead in CS, Vel'Koz was able to keep up, but he was able to put out a lot of damage. Was 5 of their 7 kills, but I mean, you just didn't get to a point. He never even, his tier wasn't finished. He never made it to Manamune. Like, that was something we had talked about. Like, he never completed that item. And I know there's a base race there at the end, but and Rek'Sai and I were able to, like, they were getting to a point, like, I think if they'd 5v5 team fight, they might have been able to win. Just outright. Like, they had the tankier members. They had people who were, like, eating cooldowns. Rek'Sai was able to get in there and cause a lot of chaos and tank a lot of that stuff. But that was relatively frustrating. There was a lot of very poor decision-making coming out Anime Kum Back's side the latter half of that game.
I do have faith in them, however. I did watch them last weekend when they were able to pull it back after losing the first game. So now it's time to buckle down. Now it's time to go back to basics, know what you know how to do. And
know what you know how to do.
Exactly. So
do what you know how to do.
That too. I mean, that as well. So
knowing what you know how to do won't help you if you don't do it. You just got to do it.
Yeah. So how about they just do it? Don't think about it. Just act.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is we've seen them do well in the early game. We've seen them get the lead. We see them win skirmishes. We've seen them execute on ganks. It's then translating that into larger plays around the map and rotations and taking those advantages and applying them elsewhere where Anime Kum Back really fails. Make a concerted effort to not only win in one spot, but to win everywhere on the map. And when you do win, get something else. Win harder. That's what they're not doing. They're not winning hard enough. When they are ahead, they're like, okay, we're ahead. Good. We did it. And then it's gone.
So with that, we're going to take a quick break while we wait for Game 3 to load up. Shouldn't be too much longer, guys. So like I said, the teams are going to be resetting mentally, resetting with their coaches. They're going to have a talk about what they need to do next game to either close it out or begin the comeback. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will be right back.